in the self-justice system. Lack of awareness-based offenses are considered a special heinous. In Chicago City, the dedicated dudes that investigate these vicious, unmindful felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Accountability Unit. These are the stories.
With so many seeking loan forgiveness or someone else to pay their bills, it's refreshing to actually come across a story where someone has paid off their accumulated debt, no matter what it is. Debt, buy now, pay later, etc. In times of governmental debt, tariffs, taxes, student loans, and garnishments, it seems that everyone owes everything. It's so bad that Klarna, a predatory buy now, pay later entity, figured that they'd clean up in times of rampant over-consumerism practices. The problem is Klarna's business plan. Why? Because the most educated, that's what they call themselves, females, the most educated, are now defaulting purposely on credit cards, PPP, and student loans, to mention a few. What makes Klarna believe that they would be exempt from being defaulted on? Was it the appearance of the low payback numbers? Numbers that the most educated didn't do before signing on the dotted line? It's totally idiotic to use a buy now, pay later for fast junk, because it isn't food. I mean, really. A buy now, pay later for a $9 item? That says that there's no hope for medicines in the future. And there's no hope for families. Then again, we already know there's no hope for families because the society, including the most educated, are pushing, they don't need no man. They don't need a man, they don't need a husband, they don't need a father for their children. All they need is daddy government, Klarna, Section 8, EBT, and all these other things that are slowly and rapidly phasing out. Also, there's a display of what the pandemic purposely started. And the lemmings and the sheep all just went along with it, not understanding the larger implications or the big picture. In other words, they had no insight to tap into their foresight while telling you that they're the most educated. And you're broke for having standards. You're broke for having a budget plan. You're broke for putting temporary happiness on the back burner for sustainability. You're broke for that. Let's get to the story, which will be linked in the description for those who like to confirm things themselves. A recent caller to the Dave Ramsey Show sparked a conversation that hits close to home for many borrowers. What happens when a personal loan becomes a family burden? Sarah, 29, called into the show to share that she racked up $85,000 in student loans under her name and another $50,000 through Parent Plus loans taken out by her parents. So her parents were helping her through an additional program. Program is the key word. Continuing, she admitted that she did tell her parents, of course, she would help them pay off whatever they put into their name, she said. And for nearly 8 years, she did just that, working hard and throwing $1,000 a month at the debt. So I have no debt legally in my name, she told Dave Ramsey. And I salute her for actually paying and actually doing what she said she was going to do. That's rare in any case. It continues, but when she recently told her parents she was about to wrap up her part and really focus on the final stretch, she was blindsided. They kind of told me that they combined my loans and my siblings' Parent Plus loans that they took out for them into one big student loan pot, Sarah said. And that right there, while it seems like a common sense move to make, combining two, individual people's student loans, that wasn't a good idea, in my opinion. But continuing, it states that that meant she hadn't just been paying off her own share; she unknowingly been contributing toward her siblings' debt too. I don't know what to do. Now, Dave, the person who's a financial, I'm assuming I've heard of him, but I don't know what he is. I believe he's a some type of financial guru, expert, or whatever you want to call it. But Dave spoke plainly. He stated, "You don't have any legal obligations at all," he said. You do have a moral obligation because you promised to pay your part, but you did not promise to pay your siblings' part. Correct?" he asked. "Correct," Sarah replied. It continues, when she explained that she had been sending $1,000 a month for nearly 8 years, that's $96,000. What he would say to the parents is, "I paid in $96,000 including interest. That means I don't owe anymore. Sorry, mom and dad, the rest of it is on you and bro. I did my part." And I would concur with that. I would concur wholeheartedly with that. She paid more than her part. It continues, Dave emphasized that while it might be a tough conversation, it's a necessary one. "Mom and dad, here's the deal. I did not promise to pay anyone else's loan," he said. "Mine was $60,000 at 7%, and with $1,000 a month for 8 years, the remaining balance would be zero." Sarah admitted it would be difficult, only because, like, they've done a lot of other things for me, But Ramsey responded plainly, they changed your diaper, but you don't have to pay them for that. That's called being a parent. 100% agree and poignant. All said, it seems that everybody's signing on a dotted line and don't want to pay for their debts. They want other people to forgive their debts and or not hold them accountable. Well, time's up for everything and everyone.